Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib, and we have a great show for you today. And if you want to call in and ask questions, 323-870-3857. And tonight, we're going to talk about Canelo versus Plant. The pay-per-view numbers are in, and they did pretty well. Let's just say that. They did awesome. We'll tell you all about it. Robert Easter, Ohio's own, in trouble with the law. But first, we get started with Showtime. David Benavidez versus Kyron Davis, 10 rounds, super middleweights. David Benavidez wins by TKO over Kyron Davis in the 7th round. Benavidez just like outclassed him here, I'll be honest here, man. He was bigger, he was stronger, he was a better boxer. I know I get it that Davis was a late sub, but, you know, so we didn't really expect to see too much here. He was game, but quite honestly, this was an easy fight for Benavidez. He was just, his jab was working, his combinations were. He's just a big, strong guy. You can see it. You can see it in his frame. He's got a wide body. He's big. You know what I mean? He's a wide kind of guy. He's muscled up. You know, he looks like a fighter. You know, he really does. He looks like a fighter, man. And he was able to just kind of outclass this guy and get him out of there. Guy came in, had all the heart. Davis had all the heart in the world, but hey, listen, man, you got to have more than that. After the fight, David Benavidez called out Canelo. It's funny, Notorious VC said it in the chat. He said that opponents, these guys are fighting and they want Canelo. He's got a point. I mean, he's got a point. Now, I know he was a late sub, but who was he fighting beforehand?
Well, he did have a draw against Anthony Jarrell. And it was, he made a good account of himself in that fight. You know, he's a smaller guy. He took the fight because, it was a great opportunity. He took the fight with Darrell because it was a great opportunity. He's really a middleweight, but he's crafty. He's a good counter puncher. He's got a sneaky right hand. He's got good footwork. He just, like you said, he was undersized in this fight and outgunned in this fight. But, you heard me say this before. When I was watching this fight last night, I wasn't watching David Benavidez versus Kyron Davis. I was watching this fight, envisioning him in there with Canelo Alvarez. And as much as I like David Benavidez, and as much as he's a dynamic fighter that I believe he is, he's a very dynamic fighter, very fast, twitchy, really quick with his feet and his hands. Some of the things that he does, I think, could be red flags in a fight against Canelo. Both Benavidez brothers, they stand straight up and they don't really bend their knees, right? And I noticed that even when David Benavidez is up close, he stands straight up and he really reveals a lot of his torso. So he's not making himself a compact target on the inside, bending his knees, right? He telegraphs and really loops that right hand sometimes, and he pulls it back when he throws it, like he almost like winds it up and torques it from the outside. Another thing he does when he moves, he lifts both feet up off the ground. So like when you're moving forward, you step with your front foot and you slide your back foot behind you, right? And when you're moving backward, you step with your back foot and you slide your front foot backward. It's one thing when you get a guy hurt and you just, you're gonna walk towards him because he's hurt, and then you like run to him because you want to close the distance real quick, right, and you want to get him out of there. But if you're doing that a lot, lifting both feet up off the ground, when you get hit, you can get knocked off balance. You can score a flash knockdown. Another thing that he does too is he slides and pulls that front foot forward and he squares himself up. And I don't know if you noticed this on 2 occasions when he was like pushed back, how he like really went back when the smaller Davis pushed him back. That's because he was squared up on the inside. But he is very quick. He really picks off shots well defensively. He's a fluid combination puncher, but again, because he squares up and he doesn't bend his knees, that's why he's not getting these guys out of there. They're not hitting the canvas. They're getting stopped on their feet because a lot of times he's not really getting that hip and bending those knees and getting that hip and twisting into the shots.
Looks like a lot of arm punches.
You notice there's a lot of arm punches he throws?
Yeah.
So, like I said, great reflexes, really quick, really fast, twitchy. He can pick the shots off because of the reflexes, and he keeps his hands up high. But again, some of those things that he does could be a problem. And we always hear the term one-punch knockout power. Very few people have one-punch knockout power. You can even argue Canelo doesn't have it. But
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me explain this. He has what I like to call fight-changing power, with like one punch, like fight, like punch, like punches with fight-changing power. In other words, because to have a one-punch knockout, you have to land perfectly. The guy got to be like kind of, a lot of times when the guy's leaning forward, you hit him just right, and that one punch just puts him out. That's what like Sergio Martinez really is not a one-punch knockout guy, but he landed that one perfect punch on Paul Williams and he just put him out. Okay. Marquez, same thing, landed that one perfect punch. But Canelo has fight-changing power. Like he'll hit you with a hook. He'll hit you with a hook, and the guy, his opponent's body will go limp and just go pop. You know what I mean? So he has that. I've never seen Well, I guess when he fought the guy that Mayweather beat there, the welterweight there. What the hell is that welterweight's name when Mayweather beat him? Carlos Baldomir. That was the one time I seen him one punch knock out someone with the left hook. But most fighters, again, it has to be a perfect shot. The stars have to align right. That one shot's just going to put a guy down, and there's no need for a count. But guys who have power have that punching power, which I like to call fight-changing power, or that one punch. You know what I mean? So a fight-changing power is one punch can turn the fight, and you could see it, like their opponent just limps up and just goes down, and they're not the same when they get up. Their legs are gone. Benavidez doesn't have that. Canelo has that. But Benavidez doesn't have that.
Yeah, it's tough because, when everybody, and I hear people say, well, he doesn't have one punch power. Listen, Kiko Martinez doesn't have one punch power. Sergio Martinez, like you said, doesn't have one punch power. There's a lot of guys that we could say don't have one punch, but have one punch knockouts. Anybody can land that shot at any given time. I get it. But you're right. As far as, you watch guys like Canelo has fight-changing power.
Yeah.
Fight-changing power and one-punch knockout power, I think, are two different things.
If you looked at any boxer's record, even you look at a guy like Gerald McClellan, and you look at a guy like Julian Jackson, how many actual one-punch knockouts do they have where the guy just was out and the ref just waved it off?
Well, not only that, but how many one-punch, you call it a one-punch knockout, but I mean, the guy's been taking shots. You know what I mean? The guy's taking shots all fight. That's gotta take its toll,
Robbie just texted me and he said, what about when Canelo fought Amir Khan? I guess that was a one-punch knockout too. Robbie is just a little fucking nitpicking little friggin' weasel, that guy.
Wow.
That's the nitpick every little thing.
Rough.
No, he's right, though. He's right. He did. He's right. Amir Khan, Canelo did not go to Amir Khan one punch.
Hey, everybody in the chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
There you go. There you go. Is that the greatest line or what?
That's the best.
So Benavidez after the fight calls out Canelo Alvarez. I don't see that fight next. I just don't. I would see the Charlo fight before I see the Canelo or see the Benavidez fight. Charlo's Benavidez is not as popular as Charlo. He's just not.
Really?
I don't think he is.
Why you're right.
More people know Charlo than know Benavidez. Now,
Charlo's been on Fox and Showtime, right? Yes. And he's on more. He's been on TV more. I understand where you're coming from. His face is more recognizable to probably casual fans, or because they're used to seeing him on there.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I think that for casual fans or whatever, and I think it's a bigger money fight for him. I think Benavidez. Listen, man, Benavidez fighting Kyron Davies, even though Kyron Davies again was a little bit. Who was he replacing though? Who was the
Uzkataki? Uzkataki positive.
That's right. He got positive.
Yeah.
That was a good fight. Yeah, that was a good fight.
that
So
was a
he's
good
got to
one.
fight Benavidez. I want to see Benavidez fight another guy, another top guy
Well,
before he fights Canelo.
yeah, and I think I think Steve Kim said this. He made a great point. He goes, I don't want to see all, like, because remember when they had the Mayweather sweepstakes? You had guys like Amir Khan who didn't want to, like, we wanted to wait around for Mayweather, and he didn't want to fight
And he never
guys,
got it.
whatever. Steve Kim said, I hope these guys don't just wait around and hit and just want to hit the Canelo sweepstakes. But to Benavidez's credit, after the fight, he said, if I can't get Canelo next, I will fight whoever they put in front of me. He called out Charlo. He mentioned Caleb Plant. And he mentioned all these guys. Mentioned all these guys. He said, I'll fight whoever I got to fight. You know?
Every time I do see Benavidez fight, I don't think he beats Canelo. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't either,
does,
because,
man.
again, if he's going to stand up straight in front of Canelo's going to rip that body apart. And here's the thing. Everyone's talking about, the volume. He's volume, puts out a lot of volume. He's not going to throw that 60 or 70 punches around when he's fighting Canelo. Same thing with Pacquiao. Pacquiao was that volume guy, right? But when he got in there with Marquez, he didn't throw as many punches because Canelo's an outstanding counterpuncher. You know?
Yeah, when you're getting hit back, it ain't that easy.
And once again,
or when you can't hit your target, it ain't that easy.
Yeah, and when Canelo hits him with something and hurts him, it's going to take him some time to regroup. Subconsciously, he's going to be a little more gun shy than he normally would, and the output's going to go down. Now, if Canelo starts slow and lets him come to him just to kind of give him that false sense of security, he may get some stuff off early. But again, Canelo has that fight-changing power where one punch can turn it around. But I think the big thing would be, because Benavidez would be so willing to exchange, he'd be right there for Canelo. That would be a dream for Canelo. And I don't like, again, I don't want to sound redundant, but because he doesn't, bend his knees, he stands so straight up, Canelo's going to rip that body apart.
Yeah, he will have a tough time versus Canelo. I want to see him fight. That Uzcategui fight would have been great if Uzcategui would have taken care of not taking. What did he take? He took EPO or something like that?
EPO, he pop positive for EPO, yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
That's like a big one, too. That's not even like, a small little water pill or something like that. You took a big one, man. That's real dangerous.
That's like
friggin'
blood.
Yeah, your blood gets like
shit. Yeah, blood.
Yeah, like real viscous, I guess, on that,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you have heart attacks on,
Yeah, you're increasing the volume of your blood, and that's a recipe for disaster. That's you're inviting a possibility of getting a stroke by taking that shit.
Yeah, that's insane. Yeah, that's insane, man. Let's talk about the undercard here. Jose Benavidez Jr. versus Francisco Torres, 10 rounds middleweights. Benavidez and Torres fought to a 10-round majority draw. Torres seemed to jump out to an early lead here. If you listen to the announcers, it was very one-sided toward Benavidez.
Yeah, I didn't see it that way. I mean, it was close. It was close. I had it 96-94 for Benavidez.
I didn't score the fight, but it was a close fight. You know what I mean? You could tell by looking at it, it was definitely a close fight,
I like Steve Farhad. No disrespect to him. I'm usually on par with him with scoring. These last couple scorecards, him and I have just been disagreeing. He had it like 97, 93 for. No, I didn't. I thought the fight was close.
What was great? What was great is that he had like 4 rounds to nothing or 4 rounds to 1. And then they went to us because everybody's like, oh, yeah, everybody in there was saying Benavidez was winning the fight. They go to Farhad. He's got the exact opposite. Man.
Yeah. And then it's almost like they try to validate Steve Farhad's scorecard once he releases this. Like we can't go against Steve. That's the one thing I liked about Max. Like Max would disagree with Harold,
Right.
These guys, I don't want to disagree with Steve, and I like Steve Farhad. Don't get me wrong. I just, no animus here, but I just disagreed with him on the fight. That's all.
Yeah. So to me, it was a close fight. I think it could have gone either way. I thought that, I thought maybe Benavidez pulled it out in the later rounds, but because he was really starting to come alive in those later rounds.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell. I mean, he had a layoff. He had a long layoff there, and that definitely hurt him. That for sure hurt him. So, both these guys, the junior middleweights, where do you see Benavidez going from here? I mean, he gets hit a lot. I mean, for my liking anyway, he does get hit a lot. He's not his brother, you know.
Him and his brother have some similarities in the way they, like I said, they don't bend their. You can even hear his dad in the corner saying, you got to bend your knees, squat down a little bit. But one thing he does really bad is he just leans back like that.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I remember them talking about that. He just straight back.
He does the Fat Joe, lean back, lean back. Lean back, lean back, lean back.
Fat Joe, lean back. Yeah, I mean, I
don't like that.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Or you're gonna get knocked out like that. You're gonna get clipped like that. You can't. You always have to move at an angle. You can't move straight back. That's one of the first things they tell you.
Yeah,
it's one of the very first.
You don't even move straight back. He just leans his body back. He thinks he's like Vitaly Klitschko, like he's 6'7" and shit.
Like he's like the Matrix or something, doing that backbend or something.
Vitaly Klitschko can do that, but he can't do that. He's not big enough to do that. But you know what's crazy too? Like you switching southpaw. I don't think he can really bend that right leg, man, because that's the leg that got shot. He got shot at, and he said that leg will never be the same. But that's
I'm surprised he's back in there. I mean, I really am. I'm surprised
he may not even be able to bend his legs because of that.
I think he's probably fairly compromised. I really do.
Oh yeah.
After being shot in the leg like that.
I know a kid that got in a motorcycle accident. He broke his leg like in 3 or 4 places, and he got pins in it and shit.
Yeah,
and he says it's he can't move it the way he used to.
Oh wow, Nacho! Wow, Nacho hating on Benavidez. Wow, wow, Nacho hating on him.
What did you score? You had your Teddy Atlas scorecard. Is that why? Come on, that fight was close.
On the show.
Fight could have gone either way. Fight could have gone either way.
The Benavidez don't dance; they pull up. What does he say? They just pull up their pants and do the rock away.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my God.
All right, guys, hit the like button if you like what we're doing. Go ahead and hit the like button for us. Also, too, hey guys, if you want to win, look at this beautiful, beautiful box. The Weed Whacker from Manscaped. We'll be doing a contest later on, so get your calls in now. Go ahead and call in. We're gonna choose somebody. Somebody's gonna win it today.
We should make Robbie do it. He won't do it. He's a coward.
Oh, come on, stop it.
Ask him.
Stop it.
Ask him to do it. I bet you he says no.
That's just rude.
Afraid to lose.
Very rude.
You know I'm not known for my manners. Come on.
No, you're not.
I'm very
uncouth.
for
your manners at all. You're not very uncouth.
Uncouth, you know that. I'm a freaking caveman. I eat with my fucking hands, man.
So do I. That doesn't make you a caveman. I mean,
All right.
All right. On DAZN, Jaime Munguia versus Gabe Rosado, 12 rounds, middleweights. Jaime Munguia wins. This was a surprise here. I mean, as easy this fight was. I mean, because he won it fairly. I mean, it was a tough fight. I'll explain. He wins a unanimous decision over Gabe Rosado, 118, 110, 119, 109, and 117, 111. Munguia looked really good here. He really did. He looked slightly better defensively than I've seen him in the past.
Yeah.
Munguia did a great job. He threw a ton of combinations. It's never one and done with him. He's always throwing combinations, nonstop throwing punches, man. Listen, man, Rosado had his moments, but he wasn't winning rounds. He wasn't even coming close.
I think I gave him 2 rounds, Eric.
Yeah, he wasn't coming close.
He won 2 rounds.
Rosado was definitely trying, but just being outworked here and just getting clubbed by Munguia, man. Munguia seemed to hurt him a few times out there, not to the point of actually getting him out of there, but he definitely buzzed him. He definitely stunned him. Yeah. Munguia mentioned after the fight he would like to face Triple G. I would favor Munguia in that fight at this stage of their career.
Yeah, I think Munguia could be competitive in that fight. I don't know if he would win that fight, but he could at this stage. You make a good point. Yeah. Because his volume and his fast pace of the fight.
I think he murks Triple G right now.
He's got a great chin too.
He can take a shot. Yeah.
He's in phenomenal shape. Like at 160, this is a beautiful weight for him because he doesn't get tired. And shout out to Eric Morales because he really has refined him. He's shortened up his shots. He's not throwing those shots as wide. He's, like you said, putting his shots together. He's not looking for the home run every punch like he did before. I'm really seeing an influence from Eric Morales onto him. I think it's great that he's really refined this young man's skills.
We're seeing more. We're seeing more from him. We're seeing him like develop. Whereas before, it's almost like he hit a plateau and he was just kind of like a punching.
Yeah.
Listen, man, he's not that guy anymore. You're seeing him develop. You're watching him develop, and he's still a young guy.
Yeah.
He's still got plenty of room to develop.
He can get better.
Plenty of room. Defensively, that's where I noticed the biggest difference. I really did. And listen, man, Gabe Rosado fought his heart out there. I mean, he did everything he could possibly do.
Yeah.
He was just a better fighter, man. I mean, Munguia was just definitely a better fighter. Where does Rosado go from here?
Well, here's the thing. And I like Gabe Rosado a lot. He's a great person.
Robbie was ready to retire him just a little while ago.
Yeah, again, can't listen to the freaking that little weasel.
Oh,
but anyways,
stop it.
That freaking gremlin.
What's the matter with you?
Well, I'll let you know later. But the thing about Rosado is he's going to be that measuring stick for the prospects, like the up and coming guys, right? Rosado sometimes is a little too crafty for his own good. He was trying to be the counterpuncher last night. He's trying to suck Munguia into that overhand right, and you could see when he threw it and he just missed it, and he's like, ooh, like that. Like he really was hell bent on landing that big counter shot, and all the while he was waiting to do that, he was getting outworked. So there's got to be a plan B here, because you can't land like one flashy shot here and there and expect to beat a guy who's outlanding you like 5-1. It's just not going to happen. So
Luis Reyes in the chat says, does Munguia get credit for the win? Of course he does.
Oh,
it was a
100%.
good win. Yeah, it was a good win for him. For sure. I mean, especially Rosado has been on a tear lately.
Yeah,
that guy has been on a tear lately.
100%. Look
at him to go in there and handle him like he did. I mean, come on, man.
I don't think Rosado won more than 2 rounds. And I just thought, as you said, Munguia just fought a great fight. Fought a very great fight, had a good game plan, didn't make many mistakes, didn't get wild. And the big thing is he doesn't get tired anymore. Like at 160, he's just a better fighter. This was the best move, moving him up to 160.
Yeah, he was like I said, man. I mean, he impressed me last night. He really did. As far as Gabe Rosado, what else is he? Like I said, he's going to be relegated to a stepping stone.
Well, he'll still get opportunities. I mean, because he's got a fan-friendly style. He's got a great chin. He's still got some craftiness to him.
Do you want to see him fight again? I mean, he's been at this for a long time.
I'll be honest with you. It's crazy because he's not busting up like before. His eyes used to bust up. He used to have these horrible cuts. And there was a time when I wanted him to stop, but then he went on that little tear, and I was like, oh wow, he's making a resurgence here. And I thought that he would probably give Munguia more problems than he did, even though a lot of people were telling me that I'm crazy for saying that, and they ended up being right and I was wrong. But even he said after the fight, like, I don't know what I'm going to do next. Like, it may be time. It may be time.
He's got nothing left to prove. And I mean, from where he was to get a title shot, what I mean? To work his way back and to get a title shot,
But if he continues to get decent paydays and offers for these young and up-and-coming fighters, and he's going to get paid decent money to do it, is it hard to walk away from that?
I think it depends on how much money.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it depends on how much money. I mean, if you got, and he's a tough guy, your fighter's going to get rounds, your fighter's going to get, but ultimately, if you've got a solid championship type of fighter, he's going to beat Rosado. It's a good measuring stick to see where your guy is.
You know what I feel bad about in his career? Because he could have been a world champion. When he moved up from 154 to fight Triple G, instead of he was like the mandatory, I think, for Cornelius Bundridge. And that was a very, very winnable fight.
That was a winnable fight for him. That was a bad one. Yeah, because he
probably would have won that fight, in my opinion. Right?
Yeah.
And he moved up, and I understand he probably did it for the money, but I don't know. I think I would have taken the junior middleweight fight and won that title. because he could have been a world champion. In
my guess is there was a lot more money with Triple G.
They had to have been a lot more.
I mean,
money.
Right? I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what they're fighting for. They're not really fighting for titles, especially now because titles are a dime a dozen. Look behind me. There you go. All right, let's talk about the other DAZN card that took place at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Kid Galahad versus Kiko Martinez. Beeb, what happened here, man? Kiko Martinez shocks Kid Galahad with a 6-round KO. Galahad's our guy, man. I was like, what? Galahad, he was winning this fight from start until about 30 seconds left in the 5th round, dominating this fight. Then he got careless. He got caught with a big right hand. To his credit, Martinez was setting up this shot for a couple of rounds. He caught Galahad with a couple of right hands, but never flush. Now, the way he set it up, of course, was he was feinting to the body. He would dip down. He looks at him. He dips down that right hand and comes up with it. He drops that right hand and comes up with it. We've seen this for a couple of times. We've seen this. I think we saw this in a fight last week as well, where they dip that right hand down or they dip the left hand down and come back up with it. It's that, that little hook they do. And he caught his guy flush in the 5th round. Galahad went down, beat the count, made it out of the round. But as soon as the 6th round started, he got hit pitcher perfect with a clean right hand. He feinted again. It was a feint out to the body. Galahad just got clipped. That was it. He was down. He never recovered from that first knockdown, B. He was done.
No. You know what the problem is? And, he likes to switch from orthodox to southpaw. He does it frequently. I want to say midway through around the 2nd round, midway through that second half of the round, he was doing it frequently. And one thing I do like about when he does it on the inside, when he switches to southpaw, he's really sneaky with that short left uppercut on the inside, and he goes to the body really well. He shovels that left hand to the body. But when he's on the outside in the southpaw stance, and Terrence Crawford's the same way, because if you saw him against Yuriorkis Gamboa, when he went to southpaw, that's when Gamboa was hitting him with the right hand, and he actually made him buckle a little bit, right? Guys like Crawford, I notice, and even Kid Galahad, they have defensive lapses in that southpaw stance when there's from the outside. And Kid Galahad has a bad habit when he's in that southpaw stance. He keeps that backhand really low. And, when he was switching to southpaw and he was on the inside southpaw, he was having great success with that left uppercut and that left hand to the body. But what happened when he was on the outside, that's when he started getting tagged with the right hand, I noticed, right? And after that midway point in the 2nd round, he was staying in the southpaw stance for long periods of time. And even after the knockdown, when he got knocked down, when he was in that southpaw stance from that same right hand, when he came out in the 6th round, he came out in the southpaw stance. So at that point, you say,
I don't think he knew what he was doing. I'll be honest. I don't think he knew what he was doing. I think he was done.
But once again, I would have told him in the corner, don't switch to southpaw unless you're close to this guy, because he's hitting you with the right hand. The right hand is a southpaw killer. And again, because he keeps that left hand so low when he's in that southpaw stance on the inside, he saw that. It's one thing when you're orthodox and you're parrying a jab, you just usually catch it. But when you parry when you're parrying a right hand, a lot of times you have the tendency to want to knock it down. And Martinez saw that. So when you knock it down, you're leaving your face exposed, and then he shoots it right over the top. Because you saw what Martinez was doing. He was throwing it straight, and then after he threw it straight, when it was blocked, came over the top of it. And Tony Bellew made that observation, and he was spot on with that. Tony Bellew also made another great observation and said, what about the weight from Kid Galahad, looking dead on at the weigh-in? Yeah,
well, that was the other thing. He came in overweight. He came in over. What was it? 1/16 of a pound. He was over.
Yeah,
something like that.
He looked dry. He was
very dry. So go
emaciated.
Try to cut that. Even if it's 1/8 or 1/16 of a pound, doesn't matter. It's still, once you're dried out like that on the scale, because they're always dry on that scale. Yeah. Then you gotta grab your stuff, go work out, and then come back. I think he came back like a half hour later, made the weight. But like you said, I mean, it's still, you were definitely dry.
Yeah.
You know.
But I thought that when he was, like I said, I hate to beat a dead horse, but he was getting hit with that right hand every time he had space and he was in that southpaw. And he was staying in that southpaw stance for long periods of time. It was better when I liked when he was coming forward and working his way in the orthodox, and then he would just kind of switch when he was close. And I liked when he did it then, but I didn't like when he, did it did it and fought in that stance for long periods of time, regardless of where he was. And I notice Crawford's the same way. When he switches to southpaw, he starts getting hit. He's not great on the outside in that southpaw stance. I noticed that about Crawford too.
What do you think? Do you think he just got lax and got caught, or was it? I mean, obviously, listen. Again, we saw Martinez rounds prior to that shooting that right hand the way he was shooting it. You know what I mean? He was coming close, and it was a timing thing. I get it.
Yeah, you made a great observation yourself. The feint helped sell it. The feint helped.
Yeah, for sure.
The feint was a key component to landing that as well, right? And I don't want to take too much away from Martinez. I mean, again, if you make those mistakes, then and your opponent capitalizes on those mistakes, then you got to give your opponent credit for seeing it, because a lot of times people don't pick up on opportunities when they're there, right?
Because I'm looking at that fight and I'm thinking, I wonder if he just got lax or whatever. And then I watched it again.
That could have been a little bit of it too.
I think it might have been some of it. Yeah, I think it might have been some of it. Because he was dominating that fight.
He could have been getting tired too. Who knows?
Well, that weight. You think about that weight.
That weight could have had an impact. It could have had an impact.
Chandler Ansem, his resume is arguably the worst of any champion. Oh, stop it. Do you think Kid Galahad comes back from this? You think there's a rematch? You think there's a
rematch?
Do you think does Martinez ride off into sunset? I mean, he's 35.
I'll be honest with you. I could see Kid Galahad coming back and winning this fight, and I could see him just boxing. I
could see him winning this fight easy.
Yeah, I could see him coming back and just boxing.
Yeah.
Just boxing. I could see him doing it. Yeah. I'm a little concerned with the weight, but hopefully they work on that, Maybe they get back in the gym, they do some conditioning work right away, and they try not to go too much high up in, after this loss. Maybe they can kind of work something out, maybe bring in a nutritionist. I don't know. But I could see him winning this rematch 100%. There is a rematch clause. I think he'll take it. I would take it if I was him. He could win that back.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Chandler M said he's talking about Jamal Charlo. Hey, Chandler M, get that pie ready, son, because in 2 weeks you're taking one on the dome, son. That's right. Your fight's coming up, boy. You done bet. Now you did. Now it's time to pay the fiddler. Nacho says he thinks that Galahad goes up to 130.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Not right away. Eventually,
I don't think so
right
either,
away.
man. He doesn't. He's not a big, powerful guy.
No,
he's a boxer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a big difference in him going up in weight.
Yeah, he's a sharp puncher, but he does. Once again, I don't think he has that. Well, I've seen him kind of buzz guys and freeze them up, but
sure. I mean, he can.
I don't think
he's not putting anybody away right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's a huge puncher. No.
Yeah.
He's not that. He doesn't have that that fight changing power like Canelo. No.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
I agree with you.
All right, and no undercard to speak of here. So let's go to let's see what
about the women here?
What
about Terry Harper? Come on, you can't do that.
I didn't do anything.
You can't.
I didn't do anything. What'd I do?
Alicia Baumgardner and Terry Harper.
Hey, not for nothing, but Alicia Baumgardner, you know where she's from? Ohio, son. That's right, Ohio. Yeah, she won this fight. What did she? Let's see here. What did she do here? Let me look it up because I didn't watch that fight, son.
Come on, will you please?
Baumgardner wins via TKO over Terry Harper in the 4th round. There you go. Ohio's own, baby. Ohio's own.
That was a huge upset.
Reese Mack said Terry Harper versus Baumgardner must be discussed, Eric.
Terry Harper I thought she lost to Jonas, right?
All right, I'm gonna do some notes while you talk about this fight, okay?
I thought she lost to Jonas, and I thought she got a gift decision in that fight, right? But, she's had the 2-hand surgery. She's coming off the layoff. And it was mentioned that maybe she had some confidence issues going in, but she just couldn't get off. Like Baumgardner was moving, sticking and moving, doing beautiful work with the jab. And she was just coming over the top with that right hand. And I didn't give Terry Harper a round. I thought she lost every second of this fight. And she looked like she was just stiff. She looked uncertain. And she looked very she just looked out of it. She just didn't look mentally ready for this fight, right? Obviously, she made weight, but she looked like she was in condition. But mentally, I don't think she was ready for this fight. And Baumgardner, I think, was just getting off first. She was too quick.
Baumgardner looked like Roy Jones out there, didn't she?
Yeah, she was too quick. And credit to the referee. I haven't seen a punch like that in a long time where the person she just stiffened up and she just turned around, and it's like weird, man. That reminds me of that Zab Judah, the Costa Zoo. Remember Costa
when
Zoo?
he got up and fell across the ring.
He just he hit it. He like Costa Zoo hit him with the right hand, and he's like just stiffened up, and he was like almost like he was sleepwalking. She was like sleepwalking, and then she turned around, and then the ref actually blocked that left hook that Baumgartner was going to throw, like that last punch in the sequence.
Yeah.
He blocked it. So yeah, that was a great fight, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you watched it and explained it to me. I like it.
Can you imagine 2 upsets like that? Like Kid Galahad was a minus 1,600.
That was a major upset.
But look at her. You know what the odds were with her and Baumgardner? She was a minus 380, right? She was like a 4-1 favorite.
Come on, B. Come on, son.
Come on, you gotta at least Ohio stand up. If Eric won't fucking say it, I'll say it. Ohio, stand up. Baumgardner, go baby.
She's from Titletown. You knew she was gonna win. It was an easy fight, baby. Easy work. Come on, man. What are you doing? All right, let's see. Robert's on the phone.
Hey, everybody in the chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
Fucking weasel.
Stop it.
I like that soundbite. That's cool, Eric.
It's awesome, isn't it? I told you.
I made him do it.
Yeah.
I take care of you. You know what I'm saying?
I told him to do it.
Yeah. Look, let me get the Kid Galahad. I think he will take the rematch, and I think he will win the title back. But I do think after that, he will move up to 130. I don't know how successful he's going to be, but I do think he's going to move up to 130 after he wins the rematch.
All right. What'd you think of the Terry Harper?
He's got to get that rematch in first, I believe.
Yeah. I do think he will take the rematch, and I do think he'll win it. The Harper thing was a shock. And you're right.
You watched it, Robert?
You're right, Joe. Yeah, I watched the whole card, man. Of course I did. I watched both the DAZN cards and the Showtime yesterday. I had a day full of boxing. I was very happy.
Did Mrs. Herrick watch them with you?
No. Well, she watched the Harper fight because she always watches the girl fight.
Does she? She's
yeah.
Wow.
She watches the women fight.
Was she yelling out girl power? Was she yelling out girl power when she was watching that fight?
No, but I'll tell you what she does not like: 2-minute rounds.
Nobody likes a 2-minute round, son.
Because she hears you complaining about it. Of course she's going to not like it.
Yeah. No, because I'm watching the fight yesterday, and why do they get the privilege of only fighting 2 minutes, and the guys have to fight 3? And I said,
where's Mrs. Herrick? Ask Mrs. Herrick.
Out for years.
Ask Mrs. Herrick if she's around. If she was a female boxer, would she want to fight 3-minute rounds or 2-minute rounds? Ask her. I want to see what she says.
Well, she's not around right now, but I'll ask her.
You do lock her in the closet. Come on, what's wrong with you? Jesus Christ, she can't listen to the show. You don't even let her listen to the show?
No.
What's wrong with you?
No, she's sleeping, Joe. Come on.
You giving her sleeping pills now? It's only friggin' 3:00 over there.
No, not to get too personal, but we've had a stressful week. We had a
all right. I don't want to get into
all right, we got our own problems, Robert.
I'm sorry. I got a stressful life. How's that?
We all got our own problems.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about it.
Hey, Joe, speaking of life, are you going to go to New Hampshire on Friday?
I'm thinking about going, yeah. I'm thinking about going. I want to call up I want to call up Mr. Andre.
Yeah, see if he can get your tickets, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're tight with Andre.
Yeah.
I mean,
Papa Andre, man. Me and him talk
great
sometimes. I got his number.
Hey, it would be
I'm
great
gonna
to
have to
have
do some favors for the tickets,
Reporter,
but I mean, it might be worth it. It might be a
know,
good fight,
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be great to have Ringside Reporter represented at ringside, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've represented, son.
So, as far as David Benavidez goes, he's got to fight Caleb Plant or somebody like that. He does not deserve the Canelo fight, and Canelo's in the position. Joe, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. He's in the position he can fight anybody he wants, right? He doesn't have any mandatories now that he's got all 4 belts.
Well, it's going to be like he's going to get that Mayweather status where like they'll enforce his mandatory like once every friggin' 5 years and shit. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
no one's going to strip him
because no. Canelo can fight anybody he wants, and as far as Munguia,
I agree.
He looked great last night, and I scored it 98-92 also. And as far as Munguia, they're talking about Triple G because DAZN wants that fight, but there's no guarantee that Triple G is going to win in Japan. Remember?
Oh, that's what you said. I'm sorry. Yeah, I misunderstood when you said that. I apologize. I didn't know. Yeah. Hey, that's true.
There's no guarantee he's going to walk out of Tokyo with that belt.
I'm dying to see what the odds are in that fight.
Because Munguia might have to go to Japan to get a title shot there. And he's the number 1 mandatory for both Charlo and Andre.
Yeah, I think either one of those guys beat him easily, though.
Do you really?
I gotta be honest. Yeah, I do.
Do you really?
I think Andre beats him easy.
I think he has a shot against Andre because Andre.
I don't think he has a shot against. I think he has a better shot against Charlo than Andre.
Really? Because I think
Andre washes Charlo.
He's very economical. Andre, like if Andre tries to like lay back and doesn't throw a lot of punches and just tries to be the counter puncher.
He's a solid boxer, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you can't hit that guy with a handful of rice, man. That guy is good.
That would be a good fight. I think Munguia.
Solid, man. I think Munguia Charlo would be a better fight than Andre. Right. Andre would wash him.
Think so?
Well, with the WBC, enforce that?
I think
WBC. No,
I could see the WBC. Well, you don't think they would push? No. You don't think WBC would push Munguia?
Nope.
No, I think so.
Why not, Eric?
I think they would.
That's not how the WBC works, man. They, when WBC has no real power. They don't. They have no real power.
I don't think they would try to do Charlo any favors.
And then, then Andre has the WBO. You don't think the WBO would enforce his mandatory because he's number 1 in both types
That fight has a better chance of happening because they're both DAZN fighters. Because Charlo fights on PBC,
right?
And plus, Golden Boy and Heyman don't get along, so that fight's probably a long shot. But I can envision the Golovkin fight and the Andrade fight would not be hard to make.
No,
Nacho says that. Hang on one second, Robert. Nacho says, Eric, you're nuts. He said Munguia can beat either guy, in my opinion. He says Charlo looks real vulnerable, and Andre struggled against Liam Williams. Stop it.
I agree with him. For once, the kid said something right.
I'm telling you right now, there's no way he beats Andre. No way. You guys are going based off of the fact that he beat Gabe Rosado last night. Really?
No, I'm not going off of.
Stop it.
I'm not just going off of Gabe Rosado. He deserves
Andre. The problem with Andre is he really he just has these lapses in fights where he just lays back and doesn't do a lot. And he can't do that against a guy like Munguia who's constantly throwing punches and constantly moving forward. He's going to lose rounds if he does that. He don't have that Canelo privilege where they're going to just give him rounds because he's an A-side fighter.
Real quick, Robert, before I put you back on hold, who do you got next week? Crawford or Porter?
I got Crawford. I love both fighters, but I got Crawford.
Do you want Robbie to do the game or no?
Well, now you just kind of gave Robbie the game because like if I say no, then I'm the heel, right? So so you just
Why, you don't think he can win the game? What do you think? He's not smart enough to win the game? Give the kid
I didn't
credit.
say that out loud.
Give the kid credit.
All right, Robert, let's do it. All right, let's do it. All right,
You ready,
let's
Robert?
go ahead and do it.
All right. Okay.
Coward.
Oh, stop it. Jesus.
I'm ready.
Babe.
You ready?
Stop it. All right, let's do the commercial first, and then we'll get to the game, all right?
All right.
Exciting news across from our friends at Manscaped. They just launched their 4th generation performance package. The ultimate package includes the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Manscaped, the leaders in male grooming, have done it again to make your grooming game next level. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with the new Performance Package 4.0 by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code Ringside Reporter. All right, guys, talking points here. Let me tell you about this. This is beautiful. The Performance Package 4.0 by Manscaped has arrived, and boy, was it worth the wait. Inside this package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver and crop reviver, performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. What is going on in the background over there, Robert?
Robert, you know when we're doing commercials,
I'm over here.
put a muzzle on that dog.
Commercial, B.
We're
I
doing
told
commercials.
you to be a big. I
Put
told
a
you.
muzzle on that
told
dog.
you, B.
Number one. Hey, number one.
What kind of
she's
dog
in
you got
another
over there?
room.
She's in the other
She's a
room.
blue heeler Australian ship.
Oh my!
Don't you
She's
feed
in the
that
other
dog?
room.
Feed her
And,
for
feed
Christ's sakes.
Did you feed the dog?
Feed her.
You're not even feeding the dog.
She's a watchdog, man.
She's a watchdog.
So
And
because she's a
and
watchdog,
whenever-
if she doesn't
whenever
catch any
you-
burglars, because she's a watchdog, if she doesn't catch any burglars, she don't get fed. What is
Wow, that's
What
rough,
is
man. I'm
this?
calling PETA on you, son.
this? Someone
That's
call up
Jack.
animal control
Give me a
with this
break,
kid.
guys.
This is the guy you want to play the game, right,
Give me a
Beeb? This is
break.
your call. This is your call.
Jesus
You're
Christ,
responsible.
someone call
You know what,
animal
Beeb? Hey,
control on
hey,
this
Beeb,
kid.
you're
Whenever-
responsible. That's right. You're responsible.
Whenever there's a truck that goes by that doesn't belong here, she loses her
So what
mind.
does that have to do with not feeding her? I don't understand that. What's
Yeah,
the
why you
connection
feed the
with that?
dog, man? What's the matter with you?
She eats plenty, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, now she eats plenty when we call you out on it.
Before she's barking like there's no
Before she
tomorrow.
was freaking being starved.
Jesus.
Please.
All right. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on-off switch that can engage a travel lock, and gives you the ability to turn on a 4,000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Did I mention this trimmer is waterproof too? The Weed Whacker, which Ringside Robert will be playing for today. That's right. He will be playing for it, is also waterproof, uses a 9,000 RPM motor, powered by a 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate areas. Seal the deal with Manscaped liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver deodorant, and the Crop Reviver for a mid-game check. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their performance package, the Manscaped Boxers, which I got to be honest, I love these boxers, Beeb, and the Shed Travel Bag. Bring your comfort and boxers to another level. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the Ringside Reporter code at manscaped.com. You type in Ringside Reporter, all one word. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code Ringside Reporter at manscaped.com. There you go. All right, Robert.
All right,
Robert.
Man. Put your big boy pants on. It's time to rock.
It's time to rock, Robert.
Time
you
to
ready
rock,
to go?
baby. Don't
you
choke.
ready to go?
Let's
You ain't
go.
ready to go.
Let's
It doesn't
go.
sound like you're ready to go.
Don't choke.
All right,
Let's
you gonna
go.
choke?
Come
You gonna
on.
choke? You gonna do it? All right, let's do it. The game.
I'm gonna do it. Let's
The
go.
game, Robert, is called True or False.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to give you 5 questions. Beeb is going to keep score. Beeb,
Yes.
you keep score.
I will.
I'm going to ask you 5 questions. You must answer 3 of the 5 correct to win
Okay.
the beautiful. The wrong button. God darn it. It's hard to produce this show, Beeb. It's just hard.
It's all right. You're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The harp. There you go.
I love that.
That's great, isn't it? Yeah, say. All right. First question, you're just going to answer true or false. Robert, are you ready?
And don't text him the answers like you do to Nacho.
Oh, wow. That's messed up, Beeb. Wow. Why do you have to throw Nacho on the blast like that, man? That's messed up. That's harsh.
It's all right.
Very harsh.
I love Nacho. Nacho's one of my favorite callers.
Who's your second favorite? Everybody else? All right. True or false? The first female boxing match, Robert, the first female boxing match took place in London. True or false?
I'm going to say that's true.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wow. Jane Couch and Simona Lukic took place in 1998 in Streatham, London. Robert, that is true. Beeb, point on the board for Robert.
And you think this kid doesn't have the intelligence to play this game? Already, he's proven you wrong.
You're a moron.
Sticking it to you right off the bat, Daddy. Get it. Get him, Robbie.
Just a Manscaped vibrate. Lewis Reyes.
And it's wonderful. And it's wonderful, Joe. The first question he hits me with has to do with female boxing.
That's right. I
which
made him
he's
do
been
that.
complaining about the last 2 weeks.
That's right. That's right.
Made him
That's
do it.
right.
Okay. All right.
Triple G, Gennady Golovkin has only been knocked down once in his career. True or false?
I'm going to say that's false.
Final answer?
Yes.
Beeb. Triple G has never been knocked down. That is false. Robert, you need one more to win the prize. One more to win the prize. See, Robbie was the wrong one to do this because Robbie knows his history. This is like a shoe-in for Robert.
I told you.
This is a shoe-in for Robert. Very easy for him. The first square boxing ring, Robert. The first square boxing ring was introduced in 1904. True or false?
That is a very good question.
Thank you.
Not a good answer.
And this is one one I don't honestly know the answer to, but I will take a guess and say that's true.
That's your final answer?
Yes.
Beeb, the answer is false. The first square ring was introduced by the Pugilistic Society in 1838.
Okay. See, I told you I didn't know that answer, but I took a guess anyway.
All right, Robbie, it's okay. You got a couple more. You only got to answer one more. You only got to answer
That's
one
right.
more.
So I got two right, one wrong. I got two more to go.
Two more to go.
Figures Nacho would say it was true. See, he can't get these answers right when they're not being texted to him. Sneak. I knew it.
Wow, that's rough, man. That's
right,
rough.
baby.
Oh, that's cold-blooded, Beeb.
Hey, Joe, I'm using my brain. I'm not using.
No, I'm talking about Nacho. That little.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to say it.
It's front of the show, Beeb.
I love him.
What's the matter with you? He's caller of the year.
I love him.
What's the matter with you?
Nacho's a good guy.
Oh, he's a great guy. I don't care what Eric says.
On the line here is the Weed Whacker. All right. A nose and ear hair trimmer from Manscaped, Robert. This could be yours. We could be mailing this to you after this next round here.
And believe me, with my hair, I could use it.
All right.
Too much information, Robbie. Too much information.
TMI. What are you doing? The Mexican-based company, Clito Reyes, was the first to introduce boxing gloves. True or false?
Again, another one I'm not sure I know the answer to, but I will take a guess and say true.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
The modern boxing glove was invented in 1743, the brainchild of Englishman Jack Broughton? The answer is false.
All right.
Robert, you have one more chance.
You got one more left. You can still win this game. You got one more left, man.
More chance. Centurion Son said it was ever last year wrong too.
I gotta give Eric credit. He hit me with two questions that I honestly didn't know the answer to.
That's
so good job, Eric.
There you go. There you go. One question remains between you and the Weed Whacker. Good luck, Robert. Joe Louis had 25 consecutive title defenses, which is the most in boxing history. Is that true or false?
That's absolutely true, because Larry Holmes is number 2 on that list with 20 title defenses.
True or false, Robbie? This isn't, these aren't essay questions. Come on.
Is that your
true.
final answer?
That is true.
Are you sure?
Yes. Absolutely.
Ooh, Beeb.
That one I know.
Beeb, I thought he was going to get this one, man. I thought for sure he was going to get this one, because this is like a shoe-in type of question, right?
Yeah.
Eek. Robert, I have to inform you that the answer is true. Joe Louis had 25 consecutive title defenses. Congratulations, Robert. You win the Weed Whacker. There you go.
Now you don't have to look like Sasquatch anymore, man. Now you go in for those kisses when you're on your dates. Those friggin' those nose hairs aren't going to poke your date in the eye.
That's right. Guys like you cleaned up, son.
Hey, trust me. I will come on here and give a wonderful commercial, because I want everybody to support Ringside Reporter, and everybody should support anybody that sponsors Ringside Reporter.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Robbie.
So all you guys out there, make sure to go to Manscaped. 20% off plus free shipping. You can't beat that. It's a really good deal. So there you go. Robert, we've given you way too much time already.
Yes.
So we're going to put you on hold.
Hey, there's other people, you know.
Yeah, there's other people. There's other people, you know.
And
it can't just all be about you.
Feed that
go
dog.
feed your dog. Go feed your dog.
The dog and let Mrs. Herrick come out of the closet.
Oh, stop it, B. What's the matter with you?
Doesn't even.
Oh yeah, he locked her in the closet. She's sleeping.
He doesn't let her in the show.
Oh, stop.
Doesn't let her listen to the show.
Not on. What are you doing?
What kind of crap is that?
What are you doing?
Stealing a view from us. We can't let him do that.
Oh, stop it. 8:05. You're live.
Wake up, will you please? Jesus. Hey, what's up, Notch? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, gee, thanks, Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, you're always trying to rip on Nacho, man. What are you doing? He's always trying to rip on it. Nacho, could you have won that game?
Yeah. But Beeb would have accused me of cheating again, as usual.
Oh, that's
like he was doing right now. I heard him. It's okay.
All right, so Beeb, next week, what are we playing for?
I'm ready to defend my title a third time.
Wow.
Did we already give it? We already gave a T-shirt out, right?
No, we didn't give a T-shirt out. We got the lawnmower. We got some body wash and shampoo.
Oh,
and
the
then
body
we got some
wash.
cologne.
Yeah, the body wash.
Body wash is great, right? I think it's the shampoo, though. I think maybe I sent Kevin the body wash, or did I send him the shampoo? I don't know.
What did you have?
I don't know. It was wrapped up. I couldn't see it. All right. Anyway, Nacho, go ahead. We'll be playing for some Manscaped swag next week. So there you go.
All right. So with Munguia, with Morales being in his corner, he's made a lot of adjustments to him, and that's why the kid's gotten better. You guys saw that he's using the jab more often. He's rolling with shots and not letting them hit him as cleanly as before. You know, he's slipping shots here and there as well. So he's added a lot of wrinkles to the kid's game, and he looked good last night. I thought, like you guys said, he pretty much dominated Rosado. Rosado was game, but I never thought Rosado was in that fight to the point where he was going to win that fight. I thought Munguia was in control pretty much the entire time, and I had the fight scored 17-11 for Munguia. So I mean, I don't know what Rosado thought when he said he thought he won the fight. I was like, absolutely not. And then, and I wouldn't mind him seeing him against either one of those two guys,
Nacho.
Eric. I'm not convinced that, yeah.
Let me ask you a real quick question. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Doesn't it aggravate you when no matter what the fight is, Sergio Mora always has to say it's close when it's not?
Well, he's not the worst one. Mannix is the worst one, B.
Mannix sucks. Dude.
Mannix is always acting like, yeah. Mannix is the worst one out of all of them. Yeah.
They try to
Mannix
tell you
reminds
like
me a lot of Beeb, though. You know,
horrible.
Hey, Nacho, does Mannix remind you a lot of Beeb?
I think Beeb's actually more intelligent when it comes to boxing, to be honest.
Yeah, see, he knows. You can't influence people.
I don't think much of Mannix.
You can't pollute people's brains, Eric.
Yeah.
It'll never work.
I'm sorry.
I have too many fans on this network.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah.
Like,
I wouldn't mind seeing him against either one of those guys.
Like, Moore is trying to tell everyone the fight was close last night. It wasn't close.
Did you watch a girl fight?
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, I actually did catch that, Eric. The way she hit her with that right hand coming off of the counter with that right, oh my God. She looked like she was drunk on her feet. That's how bad that punch hit her, and she was just completely frozen stiff. I think if the ref doesn't step in and Baumgardner lands one more hard shot, she would have been laid out on the canvas. That's how bad it was with that right hand she hit her with.
Did you know that Baumgardner's from Ohio?
I was like, whoa.
Did you know that? Baumgardner's from Ohio? Titletown, son.
Yeah.
Titletown. Show her some respect.
Well, at least you got somebody to represent for you, unlike Adrian Broner lately.
What about Broner? Broner's doing well, man. He's on parole and everything like that. He's doing great. Turning his life around.
Yeah, I'm sure. And then
awesome.
like I said earlier, I said with Galahad and Martinez, man, that was an unbelievable upset. That has to be the upset. I mean, it has to be the upset of the year.
Who was a bigger upset?
Yeah, it has to be.
Give me a bigger upset.
I mean, the only one I can think of that was even somewhat in the ballpark is Rosado knocking out Beck. But the only reason I say that this one's bigger is because it was for a world title.
Yeah, that was a pretty big upset too. I didn't see that one coming at all. Did you see that one coming, Beeb?
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
No.
I picked Rosado in that fight, but I didn't think he was going to win it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And with the other card with the Benavidez brothers, yeah, Beeb, I'm sorry, Jose Benavidez got some home cooking there.
Wow.
I thought Torres outboxed him.
How'd you score it?
I thought he deserved to win that fight.
How'd you score it?
You didn't copy and paste. Tell me you didn't copy and paste Steve Farhood's card.
Copied and pasted. He copied and pasted.
Did you copy and paste Steve Farhood's card?
No. I had it 6-4 for Torres. I thought he won that fight. I thought he edged it out.
Yeah, but that's not home cooking. That's a close fight. I mean, it's one round away from a draw.
You don't think there was at least? You don't think?
Was just real suspect.
Come on, man. You don't think there were at least two swing rounds in that fight? You don't think there were at least two swing rounds in that fight? Like round two could have gone either way. Come on, Nacho.
I mean, it's possible, B, but to be honest, I just didn't see Benavidez doing enough for me to give him even 5 rounds. I mean, I'm sorry.
I respect your opinion. I respect your opinion.
I don't think you do, Beeb.
I just didn't think
because of the way you said, I respect your opinion. I don't think you respect his opinion.
I'll take.
You said it very flippantly. You said it very flippantly.
I'll take a polygraph.
Said it very flippantly, Nacho. I don't know what he's thinking, but it's clear he doesn't respect your opinion.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's still the fact that I'm up 2-0, Eric. It's okay. No big deal.
Nacho says scoreboard.
So, and then with his brother in the main event, man, I got to give a lot of credit to Kyron Davis. That dude has a heart and balls of steel. It's unbelievable. He stood in there and went toe-to-toe with the guy as much as he could. And unfortunately, he was just too small and just didn't have enough pop to hurt Benavidez. But, man, he stood in there and he fought back and he didn't let Benavidez just think he was just going to steamroll him. And I think he could compete with anybody at 160, but Benavidez was just too big, and that's why he won that fight. But man, that kid earned my respect. I wouldn't mind watching him fight again sometime soon. And then with Benavidez, I just think he's gonna get the shot next because I just don't see anyone else out there. I mean, I'm not convinced that Canelo thinks much of Charlo, to be honest, guys. I think he puts Charlo in the same category
it's a bigger money fight,
as
son.
Andre.
It's a bigger money fight.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure Charlo will take it, man.
He's been calling him out.
You don't think so, Beeb? You really think he would turn down the payday?
No, I think Charlo would turn.
I think that really hard to believe.
No, wait a minute. I think Charlo would turn down the fight. I think Benavidez would take it in a second.
Oh,
Why, you think?
No, that's what I mean. You really think Charlo would turn it down?
He turned it down once before.
Ooh, okay. I mean, yeah, I'd be very shocked if he said no, especially after the fact that Caleb Plant took the fight. I mean, and to me, you could make the case that Charlo might have more power and he might have a better shot than Plant did.
Do you think Charlo?
I'd be very surprised if he.
You think Charlo hits harder than Benavidez? I think that could be accurate.
I think Charlo definitely hits harder than Benavidez.
Oh, you're saying Charlo hits harder than Plant?
One punch power.
Oh, okay.
No, I said Charlo hits harder than Plant. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think
Charlo hits harder than Plant. Yeah,
that's what I meant. Yeah.
I think he may even hit harder than Benavidez.
All right, real quick, Nacho. Who do you got next week, Porter or Crawford?
Oh, I got Crawford winning a tough unanimous decision. I don't think some people are saying that he's going to stop him. I don't see it.
Yeah,
I think Porter's going to find a way to go the distance. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he wins a tough but convincing UD in my opinion.
Wow.
So,
all right,
guys.
All right, Nacho.
Yeah. All right, Nacho, man. Good one.
All right, man.
917, you're live.
Good evening, gentlemen. It is
What's up,
El
Maestro?
Otherwise known as
Guys,
I'm doing good, man.
So look, unfortunately, Robert got to take that quiz before I did.
I agree. Well, Beeb jumped the gun.
The good news is
Beeb jumped the gun on that, Maestro. That was not my call.
Whacker, guys. I already got my weed whacker. I put in that Ringside Reporter promo code.
Thank you,
got
brother.
myself 20% off, free shipping.
That's awesome.
Right, I suggest everyone do the same. But speaking of history, Eric, I know you're a big history buff. I think I might have even seen you on Jeopardy. It might have been somebody else.
It was me. It was definitely me.
I have a question for you. You saw the Kiko Martinez win, right?
Yes.
Live. Okay. So as wins by Spanish boxers go, and I need you to think hard about the great Spanish fighters in the history of the sport, where do you rank that? Do you rank it ahead or behind Teofimo Lopez over Lomachenko? That's the question. Now, Joe, feel free to jump in here.
I think that's definitely ahead of Teofimo Lopez. I think it's ahead. I'm gonna tell you why. Come on.
No, he's gonna tell you. There's a joke. There's a joke. Because this is the problem. Because Teofimo Lopez is Honduran, right?
You talking about the win? I thought you were just talking about wins.
No. Teofimo Lopez is Honduran, right? But I think his mother has like Spanish descent, right? And he doesn't like the fact that
he's flying
that Teofimo Lopez came in the ring with the Spanish flag when he's Honduran. So he's like,
I didn't even notice he came in with the Spanish flag. I thought you were just talking about like fight for fight.
He's trying to spoof. Teofimo Lopez. He don't like Teofimo Lopez.
Did he come out with a Spanish flag?
He's
Lopez
claiming
did?
to be Spanish. I call him Don Quixote. Eric.
I didn't know he claimed to be Spanish.
In Spain
yeah, he's like Honduran.
Yeah. Look it up.
There's another thing that there's another thing that Maestro and myself don't like that Teofimo Lopez did at the Canelo fight. When he took a duffel bag and threw all 6 of his title belts in there and brought them to the fight with them. Like, he could have just came to the fight. He didn't have to bring all 6 of his title belts there.
Right.
Do you think that was kind of corny or no?
That wasn't a good one.
What do you think, Eric? Was that corny?
Nah. I mean, you know, I tell
Like,
you what, I mean,
when you go to like the grocery store, do you take those 2 belts behind you with you?
I wear the 2 belts behind me to the grocery store. Are you kidding me? I was out eating breakfast in them the other day. No, I don't think I don't, not for a fight, because all the glitz and everything, like for a big fight and everything, when he no, I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad.
But he's not on the card.
You don't take 6 title belts to somebody else's press conference, Eric. Come on, man.
Why not?
You don't do that.
Why not? He's trying to get recognized.
I think it's corny. You try
plus
to
a certificate. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Maestro. Go ahead. You do it.
I was just gonna say plus the certificate of authenticity. We can't forget that either, because he's got 2 belts he needs to prove are legit. You know, not just one. So it's yeah, man. But seriously speaking, though, that was a great win by Martinez. You know, it looked like the punch came out of nowhere in the 4th. But I actually looked back at the fight, and he was trying to land it, you know, repeatedly. I just didn't catch it, you know, watching in real time. I was just assuming, like the commentators were saying, that, you know, Kiko was essentially being dominated. But you could see him trying to work his way into that shot when I kind of watched the fight over. It was pretty impressive. And look, the way he got clocked out there at, you know, it's the 5th round at the beginning was also shocking, because I don't know, Eric, I spoke to Joe about this, but let me get your opinion. Between rounds, did he look like he was still out and that he was just going to get clocked like with one punch and knocked out like that?
In that, between that 5th and 6th round, yeah, he did not look good in that. He did not look good between rounds. And you can watch, even when he came out, he didn't look like he was all there. He did not, to me anyway, he didn't look like he was all there. I don't think he ever recovered from that knockdown. I think he got up just surely out of reflex.
I mean, I felt Tony Bellew was pretty harsh on Brendan Ingle.
Yeah, he was.
What did he say? What did he say?
He was saying Dominic Ingle's not his dad. Like, Brendan Ingle used to train.
Dominic Ingle, yeah.
Yeah, Brendan Ingle used to train Nassim Hamed, and he goes, Dominic's not his dad. He's nothing like his dad.
Wow.
It's like, where'd that come from, bro? Like, what did Dominic do wrong?
Yeah, he clearly doesn't like
it. And then essentially saying live on air that he kind of needs to fire his trainer. I felt it was, I don't know. I didn't feel it was really a classy move, to be honest.
I mean, because he got caught.
So why did he keep
like
Maestro? Why did he keep
pretty much blaming it on the Ingle style, which I thought was a little over the top.
Maestro, why didn't he have that energy when Joshua lost? Why didn't he have that energy when Joshua lost?
Joshua was his boy. That's why.
With his trainer.
Seriously, I mean,
Rob McCracken. Why didn't he have that same energy with Rob McCracken?
Yeah.
I felt it was a little over the top, personally, you know, especially right there. And you're right. I mean, he didn't have that energy when Josh Warrington got knocked out. You know, he was, I'm gutted. Oh, you know, I feel so bad for him. Oh, you know, it was all of that stuff. But it kind of seems to me like there's a little bit more than just
someone in the chat said Tony Bellew and Dominic Ingle don't get along. They don't like each other.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
makes sense.
I mean, to me, just off to the comment, that was clear. Usually when a British guy gets knocked out like that, he's like, oh, I'm gutted. You know, this is terrible.
Yeah, he's so biased, too. Like, he's so biased on air, too, man. He's like, he's inappropriate sometimes when he's commentating. Too much of a fan. Can't do that, man.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. So, look, it is what it is. I'll just end on this one, though. I got Crawford, you know, winning this fight. But I don't really think it's going to be just a total destruction or domination the way I've been hearing other people kind of predict it. You know, I think Porter's going to give a good accounting of himself. But I think in the end that Crawford is gonna get the W. But thank you guys for a great show as always. I'll head back to the chat. I want to encourage everyone again to get your Manscaped package, and wish you guys all the best. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Maestro. We appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Have a good one, man.
Hey, everybody in the chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
That's right. Hit that like button, son. Yeah, come on, guys. Hit that like button. Come on, let's get those likes up. You guys doing out there? All right, let's go to see what the fights are next week here. Let's bring up the schedule. I think there's a lot of fights next week. All right, so November 17th, which is what, Wednesday, Beeb?
November 17th is Wednesday.
I'm gonna take your word for it. It's Wednesday.
No, it is. I got the calendar open. Yep.
All right, listen, we're gonna make a call. It's Wednesday. All right, it is what it is. From Queensland, Australia, Tim Tszyu versus Takashi Inoue, 10 rounds, junior middleweights. They love those midweek fights over there. I don't get it. They do them in Japan too. They do the midweek fights in Japan too. They do them more in Australia though. So Tim Tszyu versus Takashi Inoue it should be a fairly easy fight for Tszyu, but who knows? And I don't have a TV on that TV time on that TV schedule. My guess is it'll be on ESPN Plus, but
hopefully,
if not, you guys can catch it on YouTube. I'm sure, like probably live.
Yeah.
Now November 19th, which is Friday, from Manchester, New Hampshire. Beeb from Manchester, New Hampshire. Your stomping grounds here, Beeb. That's your stomping ground. On DAZN, Demetrius Andrade versus Jason Quigley, 12 rounds for Andrade's WBO middleweight title. Marajan Akhmadiliev versus Jose Velasquez, 12 rounds for Akhmadiliev's IBF and WBA junior featherweight titles. Julio Cesar Martinez versus McWilliams Arroyo, 12 rounds for Martinez's WBC flyweight title. That should be a good fight. Yeah, that's a good fight. That's a really good fight down there.
Very good fight.
That's a really good fight. Callie Reese versus Jessica Kamara, 10 rounds for Reese's WBA women's junior welterweight title and vacant WBO junior welterweight title. There you go. This is on Friday in New Hampshire on DAZN. Beeb, I think let's talk about this fight for a second. I think Andrade beats Quigley fairly easily. No?
Yeah. I would agree.
Tune up for him. I'll be honest with you. I don't see any way Quigley wins this fight. The McWilliams Arroyo Martinez fight, that's a really good fight.
Very good fight.
I mean, I definitely lean toward Martinez, but Arroyo's no pushover, man. He's a good
should be
fighter.
A fun fight to watch, I'll tell you.
Yeah, it will be a great fight to watch. Yeah. 4 title fights? Yeah, 4 title fights, including the women's title fight. That's 4 title fights on that card. That's insane. That's a great card up in New Hampshire. November 20th, the big one, Saturday on ESPN pay-per-view. Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter, 12 rounds for Crawford's WBO welterweight title. On the undercard here, Esquiva Falco versus Patrice Volney, 12 rounds for the IBF middleweight title eliminator. Janabek Alamakulni versus Hassan Endam for 10 rounds, middleweights. This is a train wreck of an undercard that we have to pay for. A train wreck. This could be one of the worst undercards I've seen.
Worse than the Canelo one?
Worse than the Canelo. This is absolutely worse than the Canelo one because at least the Canelo one had some recognizable names. This is awful. Hassan Endam. All right. And this is the guy that went to the Olympics just a few years. Remember that?
And he lost.
Not even last year, the year before that, and got pasted over by some Olympian.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was still around.
You know, when these pros
come on, man.
Try to go back to the Olympics after fighting 10, 12-round fights, and then they're going back to fighting 3-round fights. And especially if you're a slow starter like Endam is, it's not really conducive to your style to go back to fighting that way. Really, makes no sense.
It's a completely different sport.
Yes.
It's a different sport. It's like people going from boxing to bare knuckle boxing. It's a different sport. Listen, man, Bobby Gunn. I would have loved to see Roy Jones and Bobby Gunn bare knuckle. It's a different sport, right? Isn't it not a different sport?
Yes, it is.
It's a different sport. And Bobby Gunn fought who's who, like I said, it's different sports, man. You can't they're not interchangeable. You may think they're similar and they are, but they're not interchangeable. There's different nuances there. Let's see here. And that's going to be it for this weekend here. There's let's see here. Yep. So let's talk about this Crawford Porter fight. I'm not going to talk about this undercard because it sucks. It's terrible. by the way. Just an awful undercard. It kind of makes you, you know, it was one of those undercards that I'm like, do I really pay for this? Now I'll pay for the main event, but like, do I really pay for this? Am I really shelling out money, or should I stream that? I don't know.
I hate to say it, but the main event is too good to not buy.
I agree.
Opinion. So I
agree.
I'm gonna bite the bullet, bro. I'm not paying for the Tank Davis fight though. No way. Sorry.
Duncan McLeod. Did you see Duncan McLeod's comment in the chat? What is this?
Yeah, where is it?
For milkman, white men, and soy boys. Wow, that's are you volunteering for that? Are you volunteering for the prize? Come on, Duncan. Get it together over there.
You're better than that.
Come on. I don't know that he is, but you know, at least, you know, try to clean it up here, man. Try to offer a very minimum level of
family show
decorum here. A very minimum level of decorum. That's all I ask for. I don't ask for the moon. You know, I just ask for a very minimum level. All right. Okay. So is Jake Paul? Jake Paul's not fighting next week, is he? Maestro said, what about Jake Paul? I don't think he's fighting next week.
No, he's not fighting next week.
No.
That's in December.
That's in December. Yeah. I think December 10th or something like that.
I think it's December 18th, if I'm not mistaken.
You could be right.
Yeah. December 18th. Yeah.
So everybody thinks this is going to be a close fight. Terrence Crawford, Sean Porter. Everybody thinks it's going to be a very close fight. I think this is Crawford's time to shine. I really do. I think this is his night. Sean Porter hasn't been fighting on the level lately. You know what I mean? I really believe, I think this is a whitewash here. I really do. I think Terrence Crawford, I don't know that Terrence Crawford gets rid of him, but Terrence Crawford will beat him decisively. Terrence Crawford beats him a unanimous decision decisively. I'm talking 8-4 and above. Sean Porter, for whatever reason, seems to come up short in big fights. Always.
Yeah, he has.
Always. He can't, and there's no reason for it. And there really is no reason for it, because he's a solid fighter. He's got all the tools. Maybe you could speak to this. Why does he come up short in the big fights?
You know, the thing is he's never really been blown out in these fights. Like the Spence fight was a split decision.
Which I don't agree with that split decision, by the way.
Yeah, I had that fight 8-4 for Spence, and then you had the knockdown in there. Yeah, so you know it's crazy. I just think that he does have some limitations. I thought he lost the Ugas fight. I just think there's always something like Spence. I think beat him because of his length and his ability to fight on the outside. Like he beat him with his jab. I thought Spence did, right? I don't think he has. When he steps it up to these guys' level, I don't think he's as well-rounded as these guys are. You know what I mean? Like Keith Thurman, I think had like a standout feature. He was quick, right? He had good movement, and Porter couldn't keep up with that. Spence, like I said, has a great jab from the outside, and he's really good when he works his way on the inside. Porter kind of needs space to get his punches off. I just think there's always that one standout feature that the fighters have that he can't deal with, right? I think because he's short, doesn't have long, he's got very short arms. He's got really quick feet, but he has short arms. I always think these guys have more tricks they can pull out of the bag than he can. If you notice, he'll get off to a good start, or he'll have a good patch, a good stretch of rounds, and then when the opponent switches things up, like Spence knocked him down, and he hit him with that short left hand and knocked him down. Mm-hmm. Like he'll go on that little run, and then the opponent. See, because when you're fighting at this level, and you have to have like a plan A, B, and C. You have to have more to go to, and Porter tends to fight one way in a fight. Like even when he fought Ugas, he was trying to box Ugas. He didn't fight his normal style. And when Ugas, I thought, was having success, he never switched it back to his old style and tried to fight it physical. And that would have served him better in that fight. Like, he doesn't switch things up. Like, he'll have that one style or that one game plan going in, and he'll just fight it the whole way. He doesn't make the adjustment.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. These other guys make adjustments when he doesn't.
Hey, could that be due to his trainer? I mean, Kenny Porter. I mean, he's an Olympic trainer. I mean, you'd think
I think Kenny Porter's
would
an
know how to make
outstanding
adjustments. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kenny Porter's an outstanding trainer, but I think he struggles sometimes trying to get the message across to Sean. I think he gives him great instructions, but I just think Sean's kind of gets tunnel vision in there, and he just continues to fight that one way. I think it's just he has a hard time breaking that out of it, that mentality out of his thought process for whatever reason. Some guys are just stubborn. Like Deontay Wilder's another one. He's just very stubborn. Porter may be a stubborn guy. I don't know, but
that's possible. That's possible. When was the last time? Yeah, 2020, almost a year ago for both of them. Then Sean Porter's been out since last August, where he fought Sebastian Formella.
Yeah,
real powerhouse there. Okay, so let's go over, what strikes me as Crawford's last few fights. All right, let's start with Danny Garcia in 2018. I gave the fight to Garcia. He won a split decision, or he won a unanimous decision. I thought Garcia won that fight. I think I had
that fight was a split. That fight was a split decision too.
It's got it listed as unanimous.
Really? I thought that was a split.
115, right. 113 on two cards, 116, 112 on the other. I had it 115, 113 for Garcia.
For some reason, I thought that was split.
Yeah, now the Ugas was a split decision. I think everybody clearly thought Ugas won that fight. Errol Spence, so you could have him clearly like 2 losses right there. Errol Spence Jr. clearly won that fight. That's 3 losses. Sebastian Formella, obviously he won that fight. How can he not win that fight? But I don't know. I just, there's something there where he just doesn't win those big fights. I don't see him, I don't see him being that competitive. I'll be honest with you. I don't see him being that competitive. I really don't.
I think he goes the distance, though.
I think he goes the distance. Yeah, because I don't think Crawford gets rid of him. But I think it's a one-sided fight. I think it's a one-sided fight for sure.
Yeah, I could see it. 9-3-ish, maybe 8-4, but I could see it 9-3-ish.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those fights where Crawford is the first guy to really just leave no doubt in that decision.
Yeah, win wide.
That
this could be his worst loss, in other words.
Yes, you can rewind this 10 times and it's going to be the same each 10 times. You know what I mean?
I'm curious to see how this plays out. I'm hoping. I don't know. I can't pick him to win, Porter. But I thought the Spence fight was going to be one-sided, and it was a lot closer than, well, I can't say it was closer, but it was competitive. The rounds were more competitive than I thought, but I only thought he won 4 rounds in that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah. No, I don't, like I said, I think Crawford wins. I think he wins wide. I don't think this is a close fight at all. I really don't. I don't think it's a close fight at all.
He's a plus 400, Sean Porter, so he's a pretty decent sized underdog here.
I wouldn't even lay money on Sean Porter to win.
No, I wouldn't either. I would think about betting Crawford with the decision proposition. I'd love to see what the odds are there.
Yeah.
Or maybe take the over or bet Crawford with the decision prop.
No, I could see Crawford knocking him down. I could see Crawford knocking Porter down. I could see that kind of stuff, but I can't see him finishing him. I think Porter's got a lot of pride and he's got a lot of dog in him. No question about that.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited for this fight, to be honest with you.
So how do you envision this fight going?
Well, see, when people look at Crawford's kind of tough and grittier than people think. When you look at that Jeff Horn fight, he actually fought Jeff Horn's fight and beat Jeff Horn at his own game. He outfought him on the inside. Porter tends to smother himself. Crawford is really good with his spacing. He's really good with his spacing, and he's a really good, accurate puncher.
Could be the best boxer out right now.
Yeah, you can argue that. Yeah,
you could definitely argue that. I like Canelo, but I mean, like I said, he could definitely be the best boxer in that welterweight division, no question.
I just see Crawford being too versatile. I think he'll box him from the outside in the beginning, and then I think as the fight goes on, he may take it to the inside and start going to the body, because Porter tends to smother himself, and Crawford really knows how to squeeze those shots off on the inside. Like, he's a really, really underrated body puncher. I just see Crawford easing into the fight and just really outworking him, and really punishing him on the inside as this fight wears on. I think he'll stop pot shotting him from the outside in the beginning. I think the jab will be key, and then I think he'll move the fight to the inside in the second half, and I think he'll just grind out a decision. I think Porter's very tough. He tucks his chin. He takes shots well. I don't think he's going to get stopped, but I think he's going to be thoroughly outboxed here. I think he's going to. I think I can see this fight being like a 9-3 type of fight.
I think that's 8-4, 9-3, 8-4 and up. Yeah, 8-4 and up is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if Porter wins more than 4 rounds here.
Yeah, I will too. And listen, man, Errol Spence avoids Crawford. He just does. I mean, they've had plenty of opportunity. He doesn't want to fight. He's come out and said, why would I fight Crawford? I could fight this guy, right? He doesn't want any part of Crawford. Well, and I think this is a good litmus test. I think this is going to be a good litmus test to see how that fight would go, because now you have a common opponent. Yeah.
And not only that, now that Pacquiao's out of the picture, there's really no super fight out there for Errol Spence. And Ugas is being forced to fight a mandatory. So
he's not going to go up and wait and fight a Charlo. He's not going to do that. Yeah, they're friends, so he's not going to do that.
He's not going to do that. So I think Spence could come back with, maybe, he says he doesn't want to come back with the tune-up, but he may be advised to come back, with the tune-up, and then after that, he'll probably I could see him fighting the winner of this fight. Really could.
Yeah. You know what? If he waxes Sean Porter, like we suspect that he will, then yeah. I mean, I think that
there's no other fight out there for him.
No, there's really not. There's really not. There's fights out there, but not a big fight. This is a big fight. And if you're Errol Spence, that's the time to do it, because Crawford's not getting any younger either. We'll see how he looks.
Yeah.
All right, area code 951. You're live.
Hey guys, what's up? Regarding the Porter Spence, Porter Crawford's gonna probably knock him out. He rushes in. He's just gonna wait for him to catch him with an uppercut or something like that. So that's gonna happen there. But I wanted to ask you guys real quick about Teofimo Lopez. Is he undisputed or not? I'm confused. I didn't hear Showtime or.
I think he's undisputed. I mean, what's disputed about it? Because they elevated it to super, or the WBC elevated that title or something like that.
I shared the same opinion as Eric did, but there are people that will say technically he's not, because Devin Haney has the WBC.
But didn't Suleiman say he was undisputed?
He did, but again, then he's
also the WBC president. Why else are we talking here? I mean, what else is there?
In the same breath, he said that Devin Haney's also champion. So can you really have it both ways? I mean,
you can't, because like I said, there's one champion.
Well,
and he beat the guy. He's undisputed.
I agree with what you're saying, but again, if one person disagrees, then that's really, there are people
that's disputed.
It's disputed. There are people that will say technically he's not undisputed. He's not included in the list because of Devin Haney.
That's a ridiculous list. That's a ridiculous list.
And again, I respect your opinion, and I tend to agree with you. But from a technical standpoint, because of what the WBC did with that franchise title, and they had Devin Haney fight for that vacant belt, technically he's disputed. Devin Haney's disputing it, and there's quite a there's quite a bit of people who will tell you he's not undisputed.
The only one who could really answer the question was Suleiman, Jose Suleiman, or not Jose Suleiman, Mauricio Suleiman. He's really the only one that can answer the question, and he's already come out and said. But again, he talks out of both sides.
Yeah, but you can't respect what he says because he contradicts himself all the time.
He's horrible. He's horrible, right? He's horrible.
So technically, he's not undisputed. But if you think he's undisputed, you can say he's undisputed because it's a matter of opinion. If Eric says that he believes he's undisputed, because if Eric says I don't dispute his claim to being undisputed, then that's his opinion. But
boy, Maestro hates Teofimo, doesn't he?
But I say he's not undisputed, and the general consensus out there is he's not undisputed. So I'm going to say no.
I think he's undisputed. He beat the man. He beat the man with all the belts. He's undisputed. Just because they decided to elevate the belt doesn't make him any less undisputed.
I would say he's lineal, but I wouldn't say he's undisputed. He's a disputed undisputed. That's right.
He's a disputed undisputed.
Didn't he beat Lomachenko, who had the belt, the WBC belt?
He didn't. Lomachenko had the franchise title, and Devin Haney has the WBC belt.
Oh my God!
It's so stupid. It's so stupid.
It's
confusing, right?
There shouldn't even be a franchise belt. First of all, there should not be a franchise belt.
Blame Mauricio Suleiman first, and then also
don't you worry about that. We will.
You could also blame Lomachenko for allowing himself to be franchised. He could have refused the designation if he wanted to. I don't know why he accepted that designation. You know?
Well, he still has to pay. Does he still have to pay fees on the franchise belt?
Say again?
So based on that, do you guys think Haney, who would win, Haney or Lopez?
I don't know.
Who would you bet on?
Hey.
Well,
Haney's a big guy, man.
Initially,
big guy.
Initially, I would have said Lopez, but I don't know where his head's at right now. That's my issue with Lopez. I don't know where his head's at right now.
Haney's a really good fighter, man. Nobody gives. I don't know, and I don't understand where the discredit to Haney comes from. Haney is a good fighter, and Haney is going to win his next fight, and then he's going to set up that Lopez fight because those two really want to go at it. I think. So that's what I think, man.
Yeah.
So, all right, my man. Thank you for calling in. We appreciate it. Call in again, man. Don't be a stranger. 804, you're live.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Corey
Lee is boxing.
Corey's picking Sean Porter here.
Are you picking Sean Porter, Corey, or are you just betting him because you think he's a live underdog?
I just think he's a live underdog. You know,
right.
I just think that the odds against Sean Porter winning are pretty good. We've seen countless upsets after countless upsets. I mean, we really thought we were going to see, Pacquiao Spence, but for whatever reason, we're never going to probably see that fight because you guys was, he pretty much came in the same situation is when I feel like Pacquiao and Thurman fought. After a while, these guys, I feel like, they know they're making money and they try to maneuver themselves into certain fights and stuff like that so they don't have to fight the real top guys. I really truly feel like, Earl Spence will never fight a guy like Jaron Ennis. I just don't think so because the way he used to always, Earl Spence used to always, bring on all challengers, bring on Danny Garcia, bring on Sean Porter, bring on all challengers. For one, he's not saying that about Jaron Ennis. And, number two, he's not really saying that about Crawford. So how can we say Earl Spence is the best welterweight when he's not even actively calling out these guys that are at the top? I feel like Jaron Ennis is probably like 1 or 2 fights away from being that guy, at 147. He's very hungry.
he doesn't have any of the money that any of those other welterweights have. So his hunger is still there. And I feel like you gotta, when a fighter's young like that and he has so much ambition and he has so much determination, that can actually outweigh, a guy with skill and stuff like that. But it's already been at the top. You see what I'm saying? Jaron Ennis, I truly feel is hungrier more than all of the welterweights at welterweight right now. At least Earl Spence. I'm gonna say out of Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, and Terrence Crawford, I feel like Jaron Ennis is more hungry. You know what I mean? And, kind of like Beeb's seen in Shakur Stevenson in his last fight when he just flipped the script and was like, "Yeah, I'm putting the house on Shakur Stevenson." I mean, I kind of got that moment when I seen Jaron Ennis fought Thomas Delorme, which Thomas Delorme isn't much, but I just feel like he could probably do that with better competition as well. I feel like the knockouts will still be there. He's stylistically, he's very, very good defensively. He definitely can work on some of his flaws defensively. But man, his offense is a banger, man. We got to see how Jaron Ennis is, taking a punch too. I don't want to make this whole thing about Jaron Ennis, but it's still a little soon to see what he's about. So I just want to see him fight maybe one more fight, and then see. But as far as Terrence Crawford versus Sean Porter, man, I just really feel like I feel like on paper it's a close fight, and I mean shit. If the odds are good enough, I would put a little bit of money on Sean Porter just because he's so much of an underdog. I feel like they're not giving him a lot of respect. A lot of those decisions did not go his way, but he was in all of those fights. We can't say that Sean Porter just got obliterated by anybody. So I just feel like that's a telltale sign. I truly feel like he's very, very, very hungry for this fight. And this is a chance for Sean Porter to actually prove himself to the masses and actually solidify himself as one of the top premier welterweights. If Sean Porter can actually win this fight, this shit will throw everything off, man. So, yeah, that's my call, man. And I really think that Sean Porter has a really good chance upsetting the apple cart, man. That's my call. It's Corey Lee Boxing, baby. Let's go, baby.
All right.
Y'all
Corey
have a
Lee.
good night, man.
You too, man. Thank you so much.
He's picking Porter.
He's picking Porter. Is he picking Porter or is he just betting on Porter? I really didn't get that. He kind of hedged it.
He's giving himself an escape route if Porter loses.
He's giving him
He ain't gonna be like the Beeb and just lay his balls on the table. The Beeb lays his balls on the table. He just drops them and lays them right out there. There's no one can do it like the Beeb.
What do you want? Pornhub now? What is it?
Don't worry about it, man. You know how the Beeb is, man. Life ain't all sunshines and rainbows, right?
That's what Lois told me anyway. I don't know.
Hit you hard, man.
Sunshine and rainbows. All right, before we go back to the phones, let's get to the news here. Canelo and Plant. Beeb, 800,000 buys. The buys are reported as 800,000. This is huge, especially going up against the UFC. This is huge numbers. Like it?
What's crazy? That's what I was about to say. Because it went up against the UFC, and not only that, the undercard wasn't
move. That was a dumb move, by the way.
Yeah, the undercard wasn't great, and no disrespect to Plant, but he's not extremely well known. And Canelo's been off pay-per-view for a while, right? And this is his welcome back to pay-per-view. These numbers are incredible, in my opinion.
They're nuts.
They're incredible. What did you say they were going to? What did you say that fight? I predicted 500,000.
I think 300. I think
you said 300. I said 5.
Yeah.
These far and away exceeded. Blew our expectations away.
Well, I tell you what. I mean, like I said, them going up against the UFC was just a dumb move. You going up against another pay-per-view on the same night is always a bad move.
But who had the date first? That's what
I don't care
know.
who had the date. Yeah, I don't know, and I don't care. It's just a bad move. But
wasn't it stupid for the UFC to go up against them too?
It really was. It absolutely was.
Because kind of dumb all around, right? Someone should have just. Why they do that?
Contest because it's a big peeing contest. Who's
so
got?
Stupid,
You know what I mean?
Right?
That's what it is. It's about money, nothing else. So why you guys are hurting yourselves? It doesn't make sense, man.
And I think it was a sellout too, wasn't it? At the live game?
Yeah, Yeah, I think both places were sellouts.
Yeah.
Madison Square was definitely a sellout for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I thought Canelo sold out too, but I don't know.
Canelo sold 799,000. Plant sold 1.
That's hilarious. Poor Plant, man. He still can't get his respect, bro.
He's got it from me, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's got mines.
Did you see at the UFC, Dana White was watching the Canelo Plant fight at the
Yes.
I
did. That was hilarious. He had it on his laptop.
All right. Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas is actually running for Congress.
You vote for him? You going to vote for him?
Well, he's running for Congress in Nevada, so I can't really vote for him.
Yeah,
but if I were in Nevada, if I were in Nevada, I probably would not vote for Jesse Vargas. No. You can find his website at vargasfornevada.com. He's a very big conservative and looks like he's got a lot of Trump talking points on there. I'm actually hoping to get him on the show. We actually reached out to his people, and we're going to try to get him on the show soon. Okay. So we're going to ask him some questions and everything like that. Yeah. It does. It looks like if you hear Trump talk and you see what's on Vargas's website, the same talking points.
Really?
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah. That's the Republican. That's like their playbook, man.
Yeah.
You know, he's over there talking about critical race
theory. Yes.
Yeah, critical race theory in schools. Which nobody teaches, by the way. Nobody teaches.
No one really teaches that.
No, Maestro would be able to comment on this better than I can, and so could Lise. But because they're both teachers, so I don't know. So yeah, he won't. But he lives in Nevada, so I can't vote for him anyway. Frank Mir versus Kubrat Pulev set for the Triller Triad card. Beeb, Triller has put on this new method of fighting. The fighters will compete in a triangular ring. Why? Hey, don't ask me why. I have no idea.
They're fucking competing in a tortilla.
Yeah, right. Why not? You know,
a tortilla chip.
Yeah, a tortilla chip ring. Yeah, and it will be under 2-minute rounds. So I don't know if it's 2 minutes or under 2 minutes. I don't know. Minute 30. I don't know. The idea is to set professional boxers against professional MMA fighters in an environment that's a quote unquote level playing field. The rules, like in boxing, only punches will be allowed. No kicks or elbows are permitted in the triad combat. What differs from boxing is that this new fighting style will allow clinching and striking from the clinch. So there you go.
This is crazy.
Yeah, I think I'll catch it on YouTube or something like that. When it comes out, maybe I'll just catch the...
Is that Charles Bronson movie? Was that Charles
Hard
Bronson?
Times.
Hard Times?
Hard Times.
It's like a street fight, right?
Yeah, kind of like that. Or like, what was that? Any Which Way But Loose. Remember when Clint Eastwood and that monkey he hung out with? And he was over there fighting them dudes. What they call a squash or something like that.
Left turn, Clyde. Left turn, Clyde. Any which way but loose.
Centurion says Pulev eating sushi before the fight.
Oh,
that's cold-blooded. Why you got to go there? Why you got to go there, Centurion? Yeah, I don't like the idea. Do you like the idea of this?
No, I do not. A triangle ring.
And I love train wrecks more, just like the next guy. But
that is crazy.
This is too far. Ohio's own, our train wreck of the week, Robert Easter, has been found guilty. Robert Easter Jr. has changed his plea from not guilty to no contest in an assault charge, which basically means you're guilty, but you're not really admitting it. But the evidence is so stacked against you that you have no real choice. Court records have indicated that the boxer may need to undergo anger management training. Judge Wagner had referred Easter to probation for pre-sentencing investigation. When the next court hearing takes place on November 30th, Easter is likely to be fined and then given probation according to the minimum requirements in Ohio law. The 30-year-old boxer was accused of punching a woman on the left side of her face. The victim then reportedly left unconscious with a split lip and chipped tooth.
Horrible, man.
Guys, boxing is a privilege. Professional boxing is a privilege. It's not a right, and if they take this away from you, it's, they say, well, you can't take away his right to make a living. Well, he can do other things. We're not taking away his right to make a living. He can do other things. I think he should be done. Any stuff like this that you're found guilty of, any abuse, domestic abuse, that's the only way this stuff will
Eric,
stop.
You don't think if we did this and our job found out about it?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that they would not fire us?
Do you think in a heartbeat, son? In a heartbeat.
We'd be gone, right?
Nope. We don't pass go. We don't collect 200. We're gone. I don't even know that we get suspended for to see if we actually did it or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
And this guy's going to get the minimum so he can box again? Come on. That's silly, man. All this domestic violence, all this stuff.
Even Floyd
in
went to
boxing, in football, and all that other stuff, man. If you guys were in the real world, if they were in the real world, there would be none of this. There would be no second opportunities, education. When you think something like this happens in education, you're going to be back working the next day. No, son, you're done.
Yeah.
You're
No
done.
way.
You're losing your license. You're losing everything. It's maddening. It's maddening. And Centurion hit it right now. He said Mayweather brings too much money. Again, it's maddening. It shouldn't matter. It does, and it sucks. 515, you're live.
What's up, guys? Chandler M.
Chandler. And
Hey, what's happening, brother?
Hey, get that pie ready, son. You want to bet on that Haney fight too? You want to bet on that Haney fight too? He's taking Diaz to beat Haney.
Listen, I don't want to bet on that.
Son, you got it.
Listen,
I'm gonna bet on that fight too. Two pies off your dome.
Though, man. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with going for the underdog in that one. And I like Jojo Diaz. He's always game to fight.
Well, good. You're gonna take a pie for Jojo Diaz, so you must really like him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm interested in how that fight plays out.
That fight's gonna be a wash, son. Haney's killing him. Yes.
Oh, it's not gonna be a wash.
Son, that's gonna be a wash.
Not.
He ain't touching. He ain't gonna be able to put a glove on Haney.
All.
He ain't gonna put a glove on Haney, son.
Listen,
fight's a wash.
It's gonna be a good fight. I think it's gonna be better than if Ryan Garcia and Haney fought.
Yeah, probably.
I shouldn't say it's gonna be more crowd pleasing.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know. There's some good fights this weekend. I think the one thing from that Munguia Rosado fight that it was the one question I had about Munguia is the dude's got a chin on him, and I like him over Charlo. And despite what you say, I like him over Andrade, or however the hell you say that guy's name. He's a horrible fighter.
Oh, that's rough.
So yeah, I don't know. There were some good fights. I don't like Benavidez against Canelo. I think there was just too many openings that Canelo would tee off on. But give the 2 weeks notice fighter some credit, because for the 7 rounds he was in there, he put up a hell of a fight.
There you go. Who you got this weekend, Crawford or Porter?
So, you can't bet against Crawford. But Sean Porter is just such like a likable dude. You kind of hope for the upset, even though it's not going to happen. I'm
Crawford's a likable guy too, though.
I don't think Crawford's that likable.
No, he's not as likable.
He's not that likable.
I don't think he is.
I don't think he's likable at all.
He's not very sociable.
Crawford's a very mean guy.
I like Crawford.
No. Here's how I'm gonna put it. Either it is it's bad to say this because it's kind of redundant, but either it's going to be a wash on Crawford's end, or it's going to be upset of the year. I don't think there's going to be an in between. I don't think it's just going to be like it was a competitive fight, but it was clearly Crawford. It's going to be like that was 100% Crawford, or we have a new champion. You kind of get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you.
So that did you watch the how Showtime does those epilogues on like their fights? Did you see the one they did for the episode 3, the epilogue on the
that was awesome
Canelo Plant fight?
Yeah,
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
It was very well done.
It's good.
Yeah, I liked it.
Dude, I say it again and again. Jermall Charlo
will get his shit rocked against Canelo. I was out there, flew all the way from Des Moines to Vegas for that fight. And there's a moment in that Showtime thing where Jamal's like, Canelo's tired. I can tell you from in person, there was not one moment there that Canelo was tired. He didn't sit down for the entire fight. He was walking back and forth in the corner. The pressure he put on was unreal. I'd go as far as to say I'd give it, 9-2 to Canelo. You could argue 8-3, but he has no business stepping up there with him.
Yeah,
There you go.
I don't think he'll move up to 168, Charlo. I don't think he'll do it. I'm not so sure he wants to fight with Canelo. I'm really not sure he does. Be honest with you. I know Benavidez would take the fight in a second.
Benavidez would take that fight for free, I think. I really believe that. I mean, he wants Canelo.
Benavidez would, but you know how it'd go for Benavidez? It'd be exactly like when Canelo fought Floyd, and it'd be a giant learning lesson.
Yeah, that could be. Could be. All right, Chandler, we're going to get moving here.
When I was in the fight, though,
Go ahead.
I did run into Joe Joyce, and after talking to the dude, Joe Joyce might be one of the most down-to-earth boxers there is. I was taking a piss, and I looked over and I was like, holy fuck, that's Joe Joyce. So we were talking outside of the pisser. You guys need to get him on the...
So you met Joe Joyce in the bathroom?
Well, yeah. I was like...
You met Joe Joyce. You were peeing,
that's Joe Joyce.
And in the urinal next to you, you look over and it's Joe Joyce.
Swear to God. And he was standing outside, and I was...
B, do you talk to other men at the urinals?
Or just talk to him about it? No, I didn't talk to him.
You talked to him. You just gave it up. You talked to him in the urinal. That's what he said. B, am I wrong?
I don't know how to respond. I think I'm going to stay out of this one. I'm lost for words in this one. I mean,
I'm just saying.
No, I know.
Chandler M, no disrespect.
Listen,
I just would have said I met Joe Joyce and I talked to him.
I would have left the whole.
I would have left out the bathroom part.
I was peeing at the time, and he was peeing at the time.
I
We
would
both
have
had
left
it in
out
our
the
hands.
bathroom part.
And then I said hello to him.
That would be like me walking in the park, right? And saying,
was he winking at you at the time when you decided to talk to him? Or
no, but that would be like, Eric, listen to this one. That would be like me at walking at the park, right? And I'm talking to somebody. Yeah, I was at the park the other day and I was walking up to somebody. Say a pigeon shit on my head. And yeah, I was at the parks one day and I met up with so-and-so, right? But at the time I met up with that person, say at that particular time I saw that person and the pigeon shit in my head, I would leave that out of the story. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
90 seconds.
Now you're twisting words.
What did he say?
He said, now we're twisting words. Yeah, did you shake his hand after you peed? I mean,
did you wash your hands after you shook his hand when you met him? Did you at least hit the hand sanitizer?
Absolutely, I did. I'm not an animal.
You're not a Neanderthal.
Not an animal.
Did you wash your hands after you touched his pee?
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Oh god.
60 seconds.
Watching you get you get that pie in your face after the Cambosis fight is going to be just icing on the cake, man.
It's also going to be imaginary. Because he ain't winning that fight, son. But don't worry about it. You'll get a chance to redeem yourself in the Haney fight, and then you'll take 2 pies for me. You know what I mean?
Gosh. Listen, you were a big Haney fan, and I just don't see it. I don't get the hype behind him at all.
You'll see, man. I'm telling you, he's fast. I'm telling you, you can't hit him. He ain't getting hit. Diaz ain't going to stand a chance against that guy.
Who has he fought besides Jorge Linares? Who's he fought besides Jorge Linares?
Nobody fights anybody until they fight
10
somebody.
seconds.
That's my line.
Okay.
That's the Beebs line.
Before I forget here, D-Style, thank you so much, man. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Maestro says Eric should teach a college course called Middle School Humor 101. I should. I'm terrible. What am I going to do? Man?
Yeah.
I'm not
Let me give you a little
sophisticated.
advice. Let me give you a little advice. Next time, leave the urinal pot out of the story, okay?
I didn't do anything. Chandler M.
No, him. I was talking to Channel M.
Yeah, what was it? What do you do there? I mean, like, I don't include that either, man.
And one day I was laying on the couch and someone walked in while I was scratching my nuts, and we had a nice conversation. You can leave that out of the conversation. You don't have to bring that up.
Yeah, I was in a urinal, I was peeing, and then I looked next to me, and Joe Joyce was there, and I mean, he's really tall in person, and so I reached over and we shook his hand. We were both peeing, God. And I'm just saying,
Jesus Christ.
Dude. Yeah, just leave that part out of the story. Just tell him you met Joe Joyce. I don't need to know that you met each other, what you guys did in the bathroom.
I wonder if he had a ruler. I wonder if he had a ruler on him. I wonder if they could have done some other stuff too. I mean, I gotta stop now. This is getting out of
control. That was
I'm
wow.
sorry.
Listen, man, I'm all for and everything, but too far, Joe. You just took it way too far.
I'm sorry.
That's terrible. What are you doing?
I gotta stop this. This is going down a rabbit hole. I don't want it to go down.
I'm sure it's a rabbit hole Chandler M would like it to go down, though. Stop it. That was terrible. That was, you know what? That was too far.
Going down
that
one
was
of those
too
holes.
far. Oh, wow. Wow. You just went there. Now, I didn't even go there. That's cold-blooded. It's cold.
I'm sorry.
It's cold. And I spoke to him outside the restroom. He's changing the story up. How did you break the ice? I'm curious, like, how did he break the ice? And, hey, I saw you peeing in there, and aren't you Joe Joyce?
So were you taking
too? We have
so when you were taking the piss, when you were taking the piss, were you inside the restroom or outside the restroom? Now I'm even more confused with this one. Jesus.
All right. Hey, listen, man, leave Chandler M alone. He's going to have enough problems in 2 weeks when he takes a pie off his face. And then he's going to take another one for the Devin Haney fight, too. All right, guys, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on Twitter at JHabib1 and find our YouTube channel at ringsidereporterlive.com. You can find me on Twitter at Ringside73, and we will see you guys next week. Don't forget to tune in. Also, don't forget to tune in this week. We got the Crawford Porter. We're going to probably do a weigh-in show. I imagine we'll do a weigh-in show or something like that. I know B is going to be all over this all week. So, yeah, just definitely keep us tuned in, all right? Remember, make sure to hit the subscribe button, get the notifications, hit the bell so you get the notifications and all that other good stuff.
And share the videos, please, too.
Yeah, what are you guys doing? Why don't you share them?
Share the videos, like the videos.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody in the chat, hit the motherfucking like button.
Boom, there you go. There you go. I got to be the best ever, right? All right, guys, I got to get out of here. What am I doing? I got to go.